What's up, YouTube? Red Zone 101. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Detroit, Michigan. It's quiet. I like that. Hey, wanted to talk to you about a comment that one of the people who watched my video posted. It was talking about how they saw this video by a place called, well, a YouTuber named Turncoat Tactical, I think it was. And basically was telling me that I needed to watch the video. He was saying that the burner really is useless. I trying to say exactly like we said, but the bottom line is that it wasn't an effective means of self-defense. And I totally disagree with that. If your burner is functioning properly and you put the rounds in the right place, this is a very effective means of self-defense. We've talked about that. But then he told me to watch the video by Turncoat Tactical, I think it was, to see what he was talking about. So, you know what? Um, to be fair, I said, okay, let me watch the video. I watched the video, and the guy had his burner. His burner didn't look like it was working that well either. It looked like it was underpowered, but that could just be me. Bottom line is, he was showing how if someone has a thick coat on, that the burner is ineffective. He said that most of the videos you see with someone using the burner HD launcher, they have a t-shirt on or else they're holding up a board or what have you. So it wasn't a really good representation of how effective the burner HD launcher was, okay? Because if someone has on thick clothing, you're not going to feel it as well. So I watched the video and I saw where guy had on a thick coat. Guy took the burner, boom, 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 was firing at him. And it's like, well, I could feel it, but, really didn't hurt. Now, I would agree that if you have on thick clothing, yeah, the burnup probably isn't going to hurt if you're aiming at someone with a thick coat on. But I noticed something in the video. They had this protective headgear on to make sure that none of the rounds, let's say if the guy missed or whatever, none of the rounds hit the head. And I got to thinking, I'm like, that's really not a fair representation of the effectiveness of this non-lethal CO2 launcher. The reason I say that is because if someone has on thick clothing, I'm not aiming for the chest or face then, because I know that it's not going to be as effective. As I've always said, if I ever have to use this, I'm going to put the rounds where they're going to be the most effective and they're going to do the most damage. Because what I'm trying to create is space, okay? This here is not a firearm. When most people think about self-defense, they think about something like, hold on a second, something like this right here. This is a Glock 45, and it's unloaded. Just unloaded it. Since I'm out and carrying it, I did have a round in it, but I just took the round out. Not loaded. Most people would consider this the ideal weapon for self-defense. Okay? It's a firearm. It's a 9mm, which is one of the most common rounds there is. Very, very effective. Glock 45. I love this gun. Some people would also say that if you're not going to carry a 9mm, let's say you don't have a lot of upper body strength, you might want to go to a 380. This right here is the TISA. I think I'm saying that right. TISA Pati 13, and that's a 380. It's basically a Beretta 84 clone. It's made in Turkey. Very good gun. The quality is there. It's almost 95% exactly like the regular Beretta 84. And I can say this is because I've had two Beretta 84s. It actually takes the same mag. This is in 380. Now, some people would go, I'd never use a 380, it's underpowered, but a lot of people buy the 380 because it doesn't have a lot of recoil. Although in this particular gun, it's blowback, it's pretty snappy. And again, it's not loaded. Okay? So some people would look at this, that's a self-defense weapon. Some people would go all the way to the end of the spectrum and say, this is a self-defense weapon. This is my Smith & Wesson M&P Compact 22. This is a great little shooter. It's chambered in 22. Will fire just about any 22 I put in here, except subsonics. And a 22 within self-defense distances can be very, very effective with good shot placement. And that goes for all of these firearms here. This is a really fun gun to shoot. I love this gun. Anyway, I like them all. That said, this is not a firearm. You're not going to get the same penetration that you're going to get with a Glock 45 and 9mm. I mean, it's apples and oranges, okay? I look at this like, let me see, pepper spray. Pepper spray or rubber bullets. That's how I look at this. You're not looking for penetration. Now, I said all that to say this. He said if you had, well, on that other YouTube site, said that if you use this against somebody with heavy clothing, it's not going to be effective. If someone is using heavy clothing, I'm not aiming for where they've got heavy clothing. There's my little target down there. I'm aiming where the shots are going to be the most effective. I'm aiming above the neck, or else, I'll be honest, I'm aiming below the belt there, okay? Because in self-defense, you're not trying to be nice at this point, okay? It's not about, I'm trying to say this the right way, it's not about fair play or this or that. You're trying to survive the situation, okay? Now, if I've got my Byrna HD launcher, just put a mag in it, and somebody is coming to hurt me, okay, they've got a weapon, and this is all I had. They had thick clothing on. I'm not aiming for him here. I'm aiming for the legs. I'm aiming for the groin. I'm aiming for the head. Okay? That's where I'm aiming. Let's take a few shots. Put it on fire. And again, another thing I like about this, it's really loud. I'm talking loud. I wake the neighbors up with this. My neighbors know me. They know that I have an air gun range. They know I'm cool. So they're not calling the cops or whatever, okay? But we're going to take a couple of shots. But as I said, it's loud. Criminals and people that normally are going to try to attack you, rob you, carjack you, like what have you, are criminals. Criminals do not want you to draw attention to them, okay? They don't want to get caught, all right? That's one of the things I do like about this. It's very loud. It's going to get attention. People are going to look in your direction if you use it. So let's take a couple of leg shots, okay? Here we go. Wow. That went through. And I've got layers of cardboard. Let's try that again. Next leg. And one in the groin. Very, very effective. One more in the leg. I think I got one more. No, I didn't. Okay. Let me bring that target up to you just for a second, okay? Just hold right there. All right. This is my prop today, okay? So bear with me. We're going to call this Dear John, okay? All right. Anyway, all of my leg shots right here. one here, and one in the stomach. Not too, okay, I was aiming here. Let's say the groin, stomach, like what have you. Now, the clothing, thick shirt is going to be about like right here, okay? So you're aiming down here. If a person cannot walk right, they're not going to be able to probably continue attacking you, okay? If they're in pain. Now, this is going right through this cardboard and into it. This is thick cardboard. That's how far that's going into there. Like I said, this is not meant for penetration, but it's just something to see how that is penetrating. Now, it's probably not going to penetrate a perpetrator's and attacker's flesh, but damn, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a whole lot, okay? And a shot in the groin, I'm not telling you what you should do, but if it's me in a self-defense situation and I got somebody trying to attack me, I'm going to do everything in my power to stop that attacker, okay? Legally. Now, the other point, if a person has on heavy clothing, I'm not aiming for the chest now. I might place one shot there, but when that's ineffective, guess what? I'm going above the neck. Because if I'm protecting myself and my family, I'm going to put the rounds again where they're going to be the most effective, where they're going to do the most damage. Because I'm trying to make this person have a change of heart, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, well, give me a second. I'm going to put this back, okay? When I hear people say that this is not an effective means of self-defense, I just have to shake my head and I'm like, dude, have you tried taking a shot to the face with this? Have you taken a shot to the leg, to the groin? I've got on a thick coat on. It's not going to hurt me. Your legs don't have a thick coat on. Your groin normally doesn't have a thick coat on. Unless you're going to be wearing a helmet day in and day out, your head's not protected. This right here is, in my opinion, when working properly, is more than enough to get somebody to back up off of you. It's unloaded, taking the mag out. Anything, in my opinion, in a worst case scenario, self-defense with scenario, can be used for self-defense. I would have no problem using my burner for self-defense. Now, I can't speak for anyone else. Mine works great. I've said that. I've shown it on many of my videos. I've had it for, wow, I think over a year now or something close to that. No issues whatsoever. The only issue I've ever had with this is when I tried to load 6 into the burner instead of 5. That's the only issue that I've ever had. Since we're on the subject of, I said anything, and that's why I said the burner can be used for self-defense. Anything can be used for self-defense. Let me bring out one of my favorite toys here. This right here, try it again, is my Crossman DP MS SBR BB carbine. This shoots in single action, well, not single action, but single shot, and it's full, and it shoots in full auto. Now, granted, I would never tell anyone to use a BB gun for self-defense, okay? That said, if this is all I had, put this in full auto. Let's take a look at this. I normally like to just practice with this, fun gun to plink with, but in a self-defense situation, if this was all I had, this is just me. Okay, let's bring Dear John back again, okay? Okay, John, I know you're hurting, but hang in there. All those shots are right here, and some of those shots went through. Now that's a BB gun, okay? Shooting .177 BBs, okay? I don't know about you, but that might not terminate an attacker, but let me tell you, if you got hit with, that was 20 rounds, 20 rounds of those in this area here, I don't care how thick your coat is, guess what? You're going to either back up off of me or else you're going to drop to the ground and ask for help. Let me put Dear John back. As I said, I know this wasn't about my Crossman DPMS, uh, full auto BB gun or what have you, but my point is, anything can be used for self-defense. And when I say anything, I mean anything. My Burner HD launcher, if I put the rounds in the right place, guess what? It's going to stop an attacker. As long as that person can feel pain, it's going to stop an attacker. I have that much faith in mine. I would not want to get hit with this. And I don't think any, trying to say this right, any person in their right mind would want to take a couple of shots to with this, especially to the face, the groin, leg, especially the thighs. Oh man. Anyway, um, I'm gonna try not to rant, but I just saw the video earlier, and I just thought it was one-sided, showing how ineffective it was, and the guy had on a thick coat and he had on a helmet. In a self-defense situation, people don't wear helmets. Okay, I mean, and granted, I know he did it because he was trying to be safe. But in the real world, you're not going to be wearing a helmet 24/7, 24/7, unless you're. I mean, if you got a motorcycle, you might ride. But I'm just you get what I'm saying, right? Again, guys, this is Red Zone 101. I'm trying not to rant. It just when I saw the video, I just thought, come on, dude, really? You took the easy way out. Now, saying that, I don't want to see anyone take a couple of shots with this to the face. No, that could do some serious damage, okay? When I talk about ever doing something like that, I'm in kind of a life or death situation. I'm in a self-defense situation. Then it's like all bets are off. I'm going to do what I got to do to survive. Anyway, you guys be safe out there. And as always, this is Red Zone 101. God bless and peace. Watch your six.